All right, everybody. Good morning. Good afternoon, depending on where you're at. Welcome to DAV's Patriot Pitch. I'm your host for today and retired Army veteran and the director of DAV Patriot Boot Camp, Nick Brophy. Happy to be here with you today with our contestants and judges. If you're not familiar with DAV's Patriots Pitch, it's a unique competition which showcases some of our top finalists from our most recent DAV Patriot Boot Camp cohort, which we held here last month in Erlanger, Kentucky. Inspired by the popular TV show Shark Tank, this dynamic event brings together these entrepreneurs and a panel of accomplished judges, many of whom are investors, industry experts, and successful entrepreneurs, all eager to support and invest in veteran-led and/or veteran spouse-led businesses. Speaking of support, I wanted to thank our Patriots Pitch sponsor, T-Mobile, very, very much for their thoughtful contribution to supporting veteran and military spouse entrepreneurs. Thank you guys very much for being a supporter. Just a reminder that the top contestant today will walk away with $1,500 in non-dilutive capital, an entrepreneur's favorite kind of capital, and the runner-up will win $1,000, and third place will end up with $500. While these funds may provide some cushion to support the ventures, each entrepreneur was offered support in the form of one-on-one coaching with a mentor in order to prepare for this competition and hone in on their ability to sell their ideas to clients, customers, and/or future investors. But before we begin and cover the rules, I'd like to take a moment to introduce our panel of judges for today's competition. First one in the hopper, a judge that we've seen before on our panel and are very grateful for, Neil Willis, an Air Force veteran and founder CEO of HyperSign, a platform management tool that brings you an easy way to create, manage, and share content to your digital signage and/or audiences across your organization. And a little bit more about Neil. He describes himself as a chronic founder with more than 10 companies he's founded in his lifetime. Of those 10, 7 had reached 7 figures in revenue, and 2 have reached 8 figures in revenue. Neil's currently running 3 companies right now: HyperSign, the digital signage company we just spoke about. Kid Marshall is a car line management system for K-5 schools. And lastly, SaaSBOR, an analytics platform for SaaS founders and funders. And he credits the success of his companies with a great team that he's blessed to have around himself and his insatiable desire to be curious and learn new things. And Neil has a passion for the SaaS business model, software as a service, and loves to teach and evangelize on the best practices for SaaS companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Oracle, and certainly many others. Neil loves to teach and mentor on scalable software companies and help them grow to their fullest potential. So while Neil lives in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, he and his team serve customers all over the world. Please welcome Neil Willis to the panel.
Man, pleasure to be here. Thanks, Nate.
Thanks, Neil. Our next judge that we'd love to introduce, Marilyn Jackson, also an Air Force veteran. I'm feeling a little outnumbered right now. Military spouse and the founder and CEO of Undergrid Networks, a technology and digital engineering services firm focused on core areas of data integration, network integration, and systems integration, is also an international businesswoman and a strategic thought leader for entrepreneurship and other emerging technologies. Marilyn has spent over 2 decades in senior level assignments, innovating and ushering Fortune 500 companies into the digital age, and is currently the CEO of Undergrid Technologies, headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia, and CEO of PuBeRRR, headquartered in Las Vegas, Nevada. After successful corporate careers with the DoD, Verizon, Cisco, and IBM, Marilyn launched Undergrid Technologies and focuses her efforts now on sustainable connectivity solutions for the IoT, robotics, extended reality, and decision intelligence areas and their impacts on the global connected economy. Please give a warm welcome to the panel on the panel, Miss Marilyn Jackson. Marilyn, want to say anything?
No, very excited to be here. I love veteran entrepreneurs, and I have an open door for any and everyone that wants to have advice in terms of how to get started and how to kick off their initiatives. So glad to be here.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. And lastly, a local to our Cincinnati area and a friend and colleague of ours here at DAV is Zach Strobel, the director of Northern Kentucky University's Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship and an entrepreneurship professor. Zach has played a major role in the success and growth of a multitude of university programs, businesses, and community initiatives. He co-founded and grew the Incubator, a pre-seed stage business accelerator at NKU, into one of the top 5 university business accelerators in North America. And under his leadership, teams have raised $7.7 million in outside funds and the successful launch of over 41 businesses. Zach's background also includes launching multiple for-profit ventures, working at many startups in the past, running and selling a family-owned business, and consulting with startups and other small businesses through the Small Business Development Center, a wonderful resource out there. So Zach, thank you for carving out your time and coming to our rescue and being on the panel for us today. And welcome to DAV Patriot Bootcamp Patriots Pitch.
Thanks for having me, Nick. Good luck to those who are pitching.
He must know what's in store. So Neil, Marilyn, and Zach, as we say every time, are living examples of the quality of instruction and mentorship available within our community. The DAV Patriot Bootcamp ecosystem is robust and profound, and we're extremely grateful for people like them to carve out time to help advance our entrepreneurs, our veteran and spouse entrepreneurs. So I know everybody's curious about what the rules are, so we're going to cover those rules real quick before we jump in. I hope everybody is shaking off the butterfly. So to start the program, I'm going to do a quick introduction by participant by name and a little bit of a sizzle bio. When they begin, the clock will begin also, and they'll have 2 minutes to present without any slides before they experience the cowbell, which you might be able to see and may not be lucky enough to hear. So I'm just ringing in an empty room by myself, but nonetheless, that is the sign that the 2 minutes is up. After their pitch, the judges will have an opportunity, maybe 3 to 5, 6 minutes or so, to ask clarifying questions before we roll right into the next contestant. Once all the contestants have presented their pitches, and any and every person, no matter what the platform, whether you're on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitch or whatever the case may be, will have access to the link for voting. Voting will take place for a few minutes. We'll line that up as we do some announcements, and we'll come back and announce the winners. So I hope everybody's getting ready, because we are going to roll into our first contestant. So I need a little bit of a drum roll online. And so our first contestant is Mr. Jonathan Cleck, a retired Navy SEAL, former FBI agent, federal air marshal, and, as I've recently learned, amateur comedian turned tech co-founder of Clexi, a tech platform designed to transform the in-home hairstyling experience by connecting exceptional service and service providers to their clients, all in one place, their place. So ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Cleck with Clexi. Now, John, take a deep breath, and just remember that the clock starts when you do.
Thanks, Nick. Good afternoon, everybody. As Nick said, my name is Jonathan Cleck. If I did have my slide deck up here, you'd see a picture of a busy mom getting her hair done in her home with her kids playing in the background. And then you'd be asking yourself why a bald, middle-aged Navy SEAL commander is up here talking to you about the hairstyling industry. The answer is because it's a $22 billion market that's being underserved, and no one is solving this problem well. What is that problem? The national industry average for hairstylists is under $38,000. At the same time, busy clients lose 3.5 to 4 hours in the salon every few weeks. So what's the solution? The solution is to bring salon quality hair in clients' homes. Give stylists the technology tool to leave the salon, make a living wage, and bring that exceptional service and convenience to their clients. How do we know that's the solution? For more than 10 years, we've been operating a come-to-you salon in the Philadelphia area. We've delivered more than 45,000 hair services to more than 5,000 clients, generating almost $4 million in gross revenue. Our stylists are earning 3 times the national average salary while reducing our clients' appointment times by 35%. So we took our lessons learned and we built an app. That's Clexi. It enables stylists and clients everywhere to realize the same financial rewards and time savings that we've delivered to clients in Philadelphia. Our app actually went live 13 days ago, and we're onboarding our first users now. Women have been getting their hair done the same way for 120 years until now. The industry needs visionaries and disruptors to make this industry the best it can be. That's us, and that's Clexi. Thanks very much.
All right, excellent job, excellent job. Judges, starting with, I don't know, let's say Neil. What kind of questions do you have for Mr. Cleck?
So, Jonathan, is this kind of a Nick talked about my love for SaaS. Is this kind of a revenue model that your customer is actually the stylist itself that's paying you a subscription to access the Clexi platform? Is that correct?
100%. And in fact, I won't belabor the answer any longer. It's a SaaS play. We're a B2B2C. So our customer is the service provider.
Got it. Love it. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
What about you, Marilyn? What's of interest to you? What questions do you have for Jonathan?
I'm interested in the technology stack that you have behind your product. So is this an AI-driven platform? And if it is, what are you doing with the hordes of data that you're collecting on both your clients as well as your practitioners? Have you come up with a way to monetize it?
Our developers, we've talked through some ideas because we're only in the market as of 13 days ago. We don't have the robust data set, but we already started talking about getting data analytics on board because in a very short period of time, we expect we're going to have data that's going to be really valuable. We're talking with one of the major salon suite franchises about possibly being what their go-to technology solution, because we're able to provide data that they can't see within their renters. So we are looking at it, but full disclosure, we're not there yet.
Great. And from a marketing perspective, if you can cut my salon time in half, what are you doing to put that message out to market?
We're actually repurposing a lot of what has allowed us to grow. We started our Come to You salon in the DC area. Then we came to Philadelphia. I transferred with my old day job. We transferred up. So we started the Come to You hair service industry in 2 major metropolitan areas. So we're going to repurpose a lot of what we have validated over the course of the last 14 years, where we know we're growing both sides of that marketplace, how to appeal to both stylists and clients. The in-home hair market hasn't taken us hold as much as we know it's going to. We feel like we're very much early, like what Uber might have been like 15, 18 years ago when they're trying to take on the taxi industry. We know that the in-home hair industry has a tremendous value for both hairstylists as well as clients. We're just trying to get that message out there, and we're going to repurpose a lot of what has allowed us to be successful in DC and Philly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, great. Zach, any questions for Jonathan?
Yeah, Jonathan, I think we met at the last boot camp. So great to
Yes,
see
sir.
you again. Can you talk a little bit about the competitive landscape? I know you might be first to market on the in-home or the mobile, hair styling, cutting market, but I know like when I go to the barber, I can schedule online. So, how easily could one of these companies adapt their model to do what you're doing?
So great question. It is a crowded landscape in the salon suite technology play. So there's a lot of competitors. There's probably about 15. Some of them are overseas. We have a whole spreadsheet where we're tracking their fundraising, where they are in terms of their raise and their valuations, what they're doing to deploy new technology. Our sweet spot is that mobile optimization. And if you couple that with the lessons that we've learned over the last 14 years, I've always said, if it were really easy to do in-home hair, somebody else would already beaten us to the market. We've done it at the local level without technology. We've done almost $4 million of business. We've done 45,000 services without technology. But all that time, we've started aggregating the lessons learned and building that into the app. One of the really cool parts of what we've done is because we do have a Come to You salon, all of our technology and all the feature sets, we've gone back to our stylists with that mobile company and said, hey, if we were going to build a feature set and we were going to have it do this, what would you want to see in it? So it's been very much a living laboratory. So we've not built this in a vacuum. So we know that with our launch as of less than 2 weeks ago, we have not just an MVP, but we have a product that actually solves the pain points of our future users.
Does that answer your question, Zach?
Yeah, did I dance around it?
Thank you.
Yeah, so we got time for one more question. If any of the judges have one other thing they want to ask, I'll leave it up to the group. If not, we'll move to the next contestant.
I would like to ask another question from a customer discovery perspective. Are you targeting mainly the female audience, or are you also doing this for men?
We're targeting mainly females based on our historical data, what we've done with our salon. We know that we can get men, we can also get kids cuts, but the sweet spot, especially for stylists, it's in cuts, colors, straighteners, all the chemical services, the haircuts, the kids cuts. The stylists, they make, there's decent profit margins in that, but really the gross revenues where our stylists are going to make the most bang for the buck is in all the chemical services and colors that women desire. We also know that typically, at least with our clientele, the women will schedule their appointments. And then when we say, oh, by the way, have you thought about this convenience? When your husband comes home from work, or if he's working from home, or when the kids get off the bus, you can actually get their haircut done as well, adding to the additional time savings that we offer clients. So we're really focused on that women, on the female market. Neil, I think I saw you. One more, if we have time, Zach.
Yeah, I think it's more of an observation of the opportunity, Jonathan. You may have already kind of thought about this too, is that as you're actually reaching out to these salon artists that are going, as you build a massive audience as far as those concerned, you really kind of have a good opportunity for product placement, for learning, for education as far as like new processes and procedures. And you become almost like a subject matter expert for that space, not just a management or operating system for these salon artists to be able to go to homes and do that. But it becomes a really big opportunity to expand as you grow. Not to do that initially, this is your initial rollout, but as you grow, a lot of opportunity because you have that following that'll be a part of there that's listening to you and watching your brand. So just an observation, not so much a question.
If it's all right with you, I'll connect with you on LinkedIn afterwards. I'd love to pick your brain about that a little bit more. Thank you.
Great. All right. Well, listen, it looks like we had great questions from the judges. Jonathan, thank you for the presentation. Certainly some growth since a month ago in that space. So really exciting. So we're going to roll to our next one. Now, before we do, I want to remind everybody, you're going to be able to vote at the end. So if you like Jonathan Cleck with his business, remember that name for voting later on. So without further ado, our next contestant, I always want to say on the Price is Right, but our next contestant here is Tymeka Smith, an Army veteran, thank goodness, founder of PuBeRRR LLC, a rideshare platform designed for the busy pet owner family striving to meet the transportation needs of their pet, whether it be for grooming appointments, pet day camp, emergency clinics, etc., all in and around the Las Vegas area. PuBeRRR offers flat rate or monthly subscriptions to get your pets where they need to be. Tymeka, remember, once you start to speak, the clock starts when you do.
Hi, my name is Tymeka Smith, founder of PuBeRRR, a veteran-owned local pet taxi service in Las Vegas, Nevada. PuBeRRR is a funny name, but it tells you exactly what we do. P in PuBeRRR is for pets. About 200,000 households in Las Vegas own pets, and the demand for pet taxi service is growing rapidly. The Uber in PuBeRRR is for, well, Uber, rideshare. Using our website and soon-developed app, it makes it easier for pet owners to book safe and reliable trips for essential pet care appointments like groomers, daycare, hospital, airport. That way you don't have to worry about picking up your pet and missing work, a dirty vehicle, or a loose pet in the back seat. We drop them off where they need to be. We operate on a per trip fee model. Our base fare starts at $30 plus $2.50 per mile, or $2 per mile for round trip. We offer emergency and same-day service for additional charge. And we also offer discounts by monthly subscribers. So in 2022, we did a beta test run and we received positive feedback about our service. We landed 20 clients within a 6-month span, while our main focus was on testing our business model and providing great service. Then, well, life happened. So here I am back 2024, starting strong. With the prize money, I would then be able to start experimenting with Google and social media ads to expand and reach more customers. Oh, so I told you about the P in PuBeRRR standing for pets, and the Uber in PuBeRRR standing for Uber, rideshare. Well, what about the 3 R's at the end? That's right. That's the sound our furry friends make when they're getting an epic belly rub or just finished a round trip with us. And there's nothing better than a great belly rub, except for a safe, reliable, and convenient trip with PuBeRRR. And being that I have a little bit more time, I'll go over some things in my vehicle. So we have the pet taxi kennels with water bottles. We have our jerk release lanyards in the event of emergency braking to stop your pet from flowing everywhere. We have our water bowls. We have our grass like feeling here to give them the outdoorsy look. And it can't be given to. This is Tymeka with PuBeRRR, Las Vegas best pet taxi.
Thank you, Tymeka. I was getting ready to ring the bell. Not that anyone could hear it, but it was coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, judges, why don't we start with Marilyn? What do you have for Tymeka?
Wow, Tymeka, nice. I love the concept. I love that you've done so much due diligence in terms of the market and understanding who your customers are. I guess my really question would just be on the marketing of this. And so you said that you are aligning with Google and others to begin to do ads, but how are you getting business today?
So as far as going out and about networking with our local groomers, vet hospital, animal clinics, pretty much anyone to offer them an incentive. So the way I would like to create a brochure and a package is I will present this to the vets or the groomers. And if they were to refer my service to their clients, I would then offer the business owner an incentive and offer the people that's booking a discount. That way, instead of them booking straight through me, that way I can piggyback off of the clients and actually build my clientele. So that's the way I'm starting to do it. Also hitting the senior citizen homes because they are the people that most likely would need the help, and areas with busy working professionals, and then just start targeting everyone who has pets.
Also, do you run into a lot of liability issues in terms of insuring the pets or insuring the ride, et cetera?
So,
has that posed a problem for you?
Okay, so the way I have it is people will sign a release of liability waiver as they're filling out the forms and the information about themselves and their pet and payment details and everything. So within that, it is checkmark and our disclosure. So as they sign and complete, that releases us from any accidental suing or anything that happens to someone's pet while in my care.
Awesome. Thank you.
Great. Excellent question. Zach, what about you? Any questions for Tymeka?
Yeah, Tymeka, good seeing you again. I met you at the DAV pre-camp. So I'm curious, and I'm familiar with your model, but as you expand this, do you anticipate people who want to be drivers or, whatever you want to call them, is there going to be an investment on their end? Because I'm seeing like all the equipment and stuff that you have. So how do you plan on them like expanding and bringing on new people and new cities and all that kind of stuff?
Okay, so when I start growing and the demand start actually picking up and it's overflowing, of course, before then I would like to meet with a strategic planner to go over which route would be better. So I have an option where I can obtain more vehicles to expand our fleet and then hire on drivers that way. But I know that comes with payment of the drivers, insurance, all of those things. Or I can have the option to operate how Uber operates and allow people to, of course, we do background due diligence, driver's records and things like that. And then they would be able to be on our platform, use their vehicle. And we pretty much collect off of the service fees. And then, they get paid a percentage as well for, using their vehicle and picking up the pet. So that's the two options that I'm looking at doing. Is just a matter of getting with someone to help me align and see which would be better for me.
Great. All right, Neil, anything from you?
Yeah. Tymeka, I like the model. So if you ever expand to Myrtle Beach, I got 2 sheep to do this. We could be some help on. But I love the model, and I think you've got a great opportunity. What you just said near the end, the second option was as you end up making your mistakes inside of Las Vegas, make those mistakes small and build your processes, build your procedures, build maybe an application. And as Zach was talking about, I think you have an opportunity who people want to do this in other areas. Could end up saying, okay, I want to buy a truck and do this, and I want to be able to use the PuBeRRR app to be able to manage all of my activity associated with picking up the pets. So I encourage you to pick a path that you want to be able to grow it, because you can actually have your activity now with your business to be able to form that path. And I think the software side, like I'm a software guy, I think that's going to be critical if you do decide to make this beyond a lifestyle type of business. It's just going to be local to Las Vegas. It's going to be critical that you have a platform to base all this stuff off of. So, but I love the model. I think it's needed. I think there's a lot of pet owners out there that really could use your help. And I'm going to be watching. I'm going to see where we expand to next, because hopefully it'll be on the East Coast over here as well. So that's all I have.
Well, you're going to be in every major city and state. And thank you for that information and that feedback as well.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Neil, you're not getting off the hook that easy. We need a question. She needs to answer something. So I need you to hit her with a hard one.
Well, I think it's around how that's the question earlier that Marilyn had about the liability. That's the first thing that comes to mind is that when you end up having pets, you got some variables there. You don't know how people are going to react. How will you qualify? Are you qualifying pets before you did? I did see on your website you actually go and do an initial interview. Are you actually saying the demeanor of the pet, and you're saying, okay, well, this is a PuBeRRR, a qualified pet to be a part of that? How are you limiting your liability and your driver's liability and things of that nature to qualify that pet to be someone or one that would be worthy of transport?
Okay, so as clients book and when after they insert payment is a questionnaire on the back end again about information about their pet and about them. And within the question it asks, is your pet up to date on the shots? Is your pet aggressive? It asks certain questions so that way I can know whether this will be a good fit for me or if it will be if it will have to be a trip where it's solo and I just take that pet only. And then another way I will look at it is if when I arrive to someone's home to pick up their pet, if their pet is showing really, really aggressive ways or things like that that could endanger me or other pets, then I will not take that pet.
Okay. But personally, you see this being more of something that serving Las Vegas. How far could you end up going out with it by actually doing it without adding a lot of other cities and things of that nature?
I could service all in Nevada if that's what you mean. I could service all in Nevada with my vehicle. I would like to. Right now, it's just me doing everything. Because I'm not making enough to actually pay someone. But once I reach that stature, I will, get another vehicle and then hire someone and operate that way.
Got it. Love the idea. Thank you, Tymeka. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, judges. Thank you, judges. Good questions. Good presentation. Thank you, Tymeka.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll get into I want to remind you, if you like Tymeka, if that's who you're voting for, keep that name on the edge of your brain, ready to put it into the app once we're ready to vote. So our last contestant, Yaileny Gonzalez, currently serving in the Army. Thank you for your service. A fearless and determined mother and founder of Fade Away Skin, a natural skincare line comprised of high-quality skincare products and solutions to address stubborn skin conditions such as eczema, hyperpigmentation, acne, dark marks, and many, many others. Fade Away Skin offers affordable solutions for all skin types, empowering both men and women to achieve healthy and radiant skin. So, Yaileny Gonzalez, remember that the clock starts when you do.
Thank you, Nick. Good afternoon, all. My name is Yaileny Gonzalez, and I am the CEO of Fade Away Skin. Fade Away Skin is a natural skincare line that I founded in October of 2020. And over the past 4 years, we have gone by the motto of transform your inner butterfly. Due to our logo being the butterfly, we like to have customers feel the transformation of their skin through our products the same way a butterfly goes through metamorphosis. Our skin healing products help skincare problems such as eczema, hyperpigmentation, dermatitis, and dark marks. We provide high quality, affordable skincare, and our products range from face creams, body butters, and body oils, which help combat these issues effectively. In the past 4 years, our growth as a company has grown at 189.2%. Our gross revenue in 2020 was $400, and as of right now, we're at $1,100 at the middle of this year. For one launch, our startup cost is $850. Out of one launch, we're able to produce 174 products, and our gross revenue from one launch is $2,968, which is 249.1%. An example of one of our batches for our mango healing butter, which is our bestseller that helps with eczema, dermatitis, and burn marks, is that one batch of these products costs $61.22 to make, and it makes 24-ounce jars. Now, each jar only costs $4.06 to make, including the jar and the label itself, and our gross profit is at about $15.94 per jar. In the next 5 years, we're looking to potentially gain over $500 million of gross.
And we've
Thank you.
hit the time. We've hit the time. I hate to cut people off, but it is part of the gig. So thank you, Yaileny, for your presentation. Let's turn to our judges here, and we're going to start with Zach this time.
Yaileny, great meeting you. I'm curious about your plan to scale the business. I mean, you were starting to get to a big number. So how are you going to do this from a manufacturing standpoint, distribution? What channels are you going after? Talk to us a little bit about that, please.
As of right now, we're looking to expand into commerce stores such as Sephora, Ulta, and Target. We currently are on Walmart.com, and potentially in the next few months, we will be able to get on the shelves. I'm just figuring out some issues with the barcodes and the labels in order to go in person. And we also hired a marketing team to help us run ads in different areas and potential surveys to get more customers to transition over to natural skincare and seeing what kind of skin concerns they have that our products will be able to help. In terms of distribution and manufacturing, as of right now, we do everything from home. We're looking to potentially have warehouse space in about 6 months so that we can gain employees and we can push out more product inventory.
Thank you.
Great. Let's see. Let's go with Neil. Neil, what question do you have for Yaileny?
Zach stole my question with the distribution deal. So I was trying to figure out how moving forward with the distribution. But as you grow this, and I heard at the tail end of your presentation about the 500 million, and I'm not sure what that was and what it was leaning toward. Nick, can I ask a question for her to finish that comment to see what it was? Okay, Yaileny, what were you trying to be able to communicate at that point?
So I was trying to communicate that over 21.6 million people in the United States have eczema. And since a lot of people do not have insurance in order to get the proper care that they need to soothe their eczema or maintain it, our jar of $20, if it was to reach every single person that is unable to afford insurance at the moment, we would be making $500 million from just this one butter.
I understand. So I know distribution is going to be a challenge. I'm assuming all this is bootstrapped.
Yes.
It's bootstrapped. So as you grow and as you start expanding into those channels you were talking about, have you been able to utilize maybe some compliance, diversity compliance? Are you the majority owner of the business?
Yes, I am.
All right, like a VOSB and things of that nature, to be able to, some of these retailers are going to have some compliance and diversity compliance that they have to mandatorily meet, and that may put you on the shelf faster. You know, so I didn't know if you've explored some of those things to be able to take advantage of those benefits in order, as a veteran, as a U.S. veteran, to be able to position yourself a little bit better and get your business kicked off at a higher rate. Have you been able to do that at all? Or?
I have not. I've taken a lot of notes from the boot camp, and we're kind of taking like step by step on like smaller things like changing the labels, changing the website. But I am looking into getting into these compliances. That way I can get in stores faster.
And there's a lot of compliance associated with healthcare organizations. They have diversity compliance associated with that. So going to SAM.gov and going to the SBA for the VOSB certification may position you and kind of raise you up as far as their product list to be in a position on shelves. So just a thought on that. But good job in trying to solve that problem. I have several friends that actually suffer with that, and when you always have a problem like that, is something that's really, really important to them. So I applaud you for actually going and trying to solve that problem with your product.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you for the advice.
Great. Marilyn, what questions do you have?
Great presentation. And I love your warehouse, your manufacturing floor.
Thank you.
So again, anytime, I guess my question is around regulation, because I think that there may be issues in terms of validating the claims. So have you reached out to maybe a dermatologist to put their rubber stamp on it, or maybe some other authoritative type organization to say, yes, this product actually does what it claims to do?
I have not yet. I have been looking into getting all of the products FDA approved, but as of right now, I do not have enough funds because each product would be about $1,800, if I'm not mistaken, to get FDA approved. But I have been planning on getting them FDA approved and using customer results as evidence that this is what the product does.
Right, because I have suffered in eczema in my lifetime, and a lot of the components of the products they turned out to be allergens for me. So that's going to be very, very critical. I mean, important because I think having that revelation or something on the label to say, if you're allergic to coconut, you should not use my product or something along that line. And so maybe just getting that level of validation inside of your product to kind of give it its own standout kind of ability versus everything else that's out there that claims it works on eczema. So just a word of thought.
Thank you, Marilyn.
You're welcome.
Excellent. All right. Great questions and great responses. Any other last questions for Yaileny before we send the link out and get the voting started by the judges? Anybody else have one last question? Just jump in. If not, we'll move on to voting. All right. It doesn't sound like any judges have any more questions, which, you know, sometimes it's hard to get started because then you can't stop asking questions. But congratulations, Yaileny, for that presentation, that pitch, and to the other two contestants for your pitch. Excellent pitches, really, all things considered, and excellent growth from a month ago. Believe it or not, we can see it. Since I was there, I can see it. It's wonderful. And so now that we've heard from our participants and we've heard from some of the judges, we'd like to start our voting. So Michael, our tech guy, is going to put that link out into social media land for anybody who's watching on whichever platform you're on, and go ahead and click on that link and vote. That includes the judges, which yours is in the Zoom. So click on that link and vote, cast your votes. We're going to give a few minutes before we come back with the results. So while we're doing that, I do want to take a moment and thank people who help us put this pitch competition on. And first, I want to thank our judges for being here because they're busy entrepreneurs. They've got a lot of stuff going on in their own lives, and they're busy. You know, Neil told us before the program he's traveling, he's in a hotel. So, you know, that kind of commitment we really appreciate. We can't say enough on how much we thank you for continuing to support the program and be available for people. We also want to throw out another shout out to our sponsor. Again, T-Mobile has recently come on to sponsor these Patriots Pitch because they believe in the support that we're doing, that we're providing to veteran entrepreneurs, mil-spouse entrepreneurs, et cetera, and active military members, Yaileny, and helping them achieve their entrepreneurial goals. So thank you to T-Mobile for that. Second, I want to thank all of our contestants because, again, most of you are probably working or on active duty or something of that nature. And so we appreciate you taking time with your families and your businesses and your jobs, et cetera, to be with us and, you know, hopefully walk away. Well, you will walk away with some amount of money and working on the craft of being a better entrepreneur and being a more successful entrepreneur. So appreciate that. And of course, we want to thank everybody out there in social media land who's watching, whatever platform you're on. Thank you for being on that platform. Thank you for following us. Thank you for again, spending your time. Time is money, and your time is worth something too. And we appreciate you taking the time to carve out this time of the day, no matter what time zone you're in, and check out our entrepreneurs. And for those people who check it out later on YouTube or whatever the case may be, again, thank you for tuning in to see these great entrepreneurs put themselves out there like they have. If you're not familiar with Patriot Bootcamp, we thank you for joining us for the first time if you are a first timer. So if you're not sure what the program is, it really is an entrepreneurship program designed for early stage for-profit entrepreneurs looking to scale their business and grow. And it's an education program along with mentoring and networking that I think is really impactful for our entrepreneurs. And so you can get involved or you can learn more at patriotbootcamp.org. And of course, we always encourage you to follow us on social media. That's a really easy way to reach us. And you can see a couple of other things that we do, such as Founder Fridays, which is a segment where we highlight entrepreneurs that have rolled through the program. And you get a kind of a sense of who they are and what they stand for. And maybe they just might solve a problem for you with their business idea. So if you're interested in applying for Patriot Bootcamp in the future, our next cohort applications are open for that. Our next cohort is in Washington, D.C., and it's going to be in October from 9 through 11 October. So get on patriotbootcamp.org and submit your application if that's something that you think fits for you. Outside of traveling for that program, finding your way there and lodging, the program is essentially free, and we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of mentorship, and of course, it qualifies you to potentially later participate in one of these events of Patriots Pitch, where you can win more non-dilutive capital. As a matter of fact, one of the things that one of our participants had to say from a previous cohort, and I think this is really impactful and shows how DAV changes lives, how DAV Patriot Bootcamp changes lives, is one participant had this to say: there are a few places where you can enter a room and have over 50 people who are unequivocally dedicated to your growth. And DAV Patriot Bootcamp brings in some of the best and brightest peers and mentors to advance that mission. And I think that really speaks volumes to not only those and what they're looking to achieve, but to our mentor group who's dedicating their time, and really a lot of the success hinges on their involvement. Another alumni said, "I spent nearly 40 grand on masterminds last year. They were all amazing, but this one blew them out of the water." And I think that's just, puts that dollar amount on, says this is a really solid program that really helps people. And lastly, one last testimonial, if I could be selfish about it, is it was a dynamic few days with an amazing bunch of motivated professionals, and I couldn't agree more. So if you're interested in being a part of our community, please, patriotbootcamp.org, check out our application process and submit your application, and we'll be back with you shortly. Let's take a moment to see where we're at on voting, since I haven't been doing that. Check it out. A couple more announcements while we're looking at that is, so if you're looking at other interested future events, we do a segment called Caffeine Connect, and that's kind of a webinar series, if you will, that we do typically monthly. So we're going to have another one coming up in July, so stay tuned for that on social media. You can find everything you need on mostly LinkedIn, DAV Patriot Bootcamp, and Facebook, very active there, and then of course on Instagram and recently Twitch, and then YouTube. You can find us everywhere. And if you're also a veteran, you're looking for support with your service-connected benefits, which is a lot of ways people get introduced to DAV, and you can contact a resident expert at benefitsquestions.org on DAV site, and you can find an office near you and get that process started if that's something you're interested in, along with many other services that DAV offers. And lastly, if you want to get involved to join the fight for veterans, you can sign up for the Commanders Action Network. This is a legislative path that helps put support onto legislative items. If that's something of interest to you, you can get involved at davcan.org, davcan.org. So let me try to get into this survey because it just kicked me out, and I apologize. Sometimes we have technical difficulties. I apologize for this, everybody out there in social media land, but this kind of stuff happens. All right, give me 1 minute. I'll be right back with y'all.
think we might do something to help
Oh.
Nick out. Nick, you got results? I was going to ask
I
the
got
contestants how
I
they would
got
spend
some
their money, but
results.
you're cool. All
Yep.
right, great.
Sorry about that, guys. I got kicked out of the survey and it happens, but we're back now, and I'm happy to report our standings, our results. And so with our second runner-up, it is Yaileny Gonzalez is our second runner-up, which is the $500 prize. So I want to give I wish I had some audio fields for that so we could put some hands clapping. Our runner-up is Tymeka Smith with PuBeRRR. So $1,000 to Tymeka, and our grand prize winner is Mr. Jonathan Cleck of Clexi. So congratulations to all three of you, and thank you again for the time commitment. And I apologize for the quick delay, but just another congratulations, another special thank you to our judges and our sponsors for today. Can't do it without any of you. And I wish you all the best of luck in your exciting ventures here in the future, and we'll get that money to you as soon as possible. I know it's well deserved. So until next time, everybody, thank you for your time. Neil and Marilyn and Zach and all of our contestants, everybody out there in social media land, and T-Mobile, our sponsors, and our DAV family. Until next time, activate, mentor, create, and grow. Patriot 6 out.